Hello there, guys. It's T-Bone Pearson, aka Travis Gordon, here with another basic tutorial in After Effects. So I have After Effects open here, and today I want to play around with 3D layers. So what 3D layers do for you is it adds some pep to your shot. It adds an extra little something something. So I have a shot here called Landscape. And I'm going to pull it down to this little button here, and here's the shot. So I'm going to hit play up here, if it will let me. My computer is slowing down. Oh, it's because I'm recording this as I'm working on it. Okay, so here it is here. It's playing. We're looking at a landscape shot that I made in Photoshop, and then I added some clouds to it. So what I want is a little bit more pizzazz to this shot, and I'm going to use 3D layers to get this thing looking cooler. So what we have to do is, if you follow my mouse down here, we're looking for 3D layers. Now this is CS5. Let's see. How do we do this? Oh yeah, we want to make this. I'm going to do this toggle switch down here. Toggle switches and modes. And when you hit that, what happens is it gives you more options. So we want more options, and then you see this little button here, this little 3D thing. We're going to click that and make it a 3D layer. I'm going to make some copies of this shot here. Now this is for my show Spell Fury. So this is for Spell Fury Season 2, Episode 2. And I've already used this shot before. It's sort of called a matte painting, and I think I've used it before. So what I want to do is just make it a little bit better than the last time I used it. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm just going to hit Control D. I'm going to do it, let's try 4 times. So now I have 4 different copies of the same clip. And I'm going to make them all 3D layers. So I'm going to click this little 3D cube, and they're all 3D layers. Then I'm going to go to the top and go Layer, New, and I want to make a camera. Camera. And you have all these controls in here. Now film, like Hollywood Films and Spell Fury, it's 24 frames per second. But it's also, they use a lens, a 24mm lens. So let's leave it on 24mm here. But you can change it around depending on what type of look you're trying to get across. So let's leave it on 24mm, and we'll just say OK. And there, now we have 4 layers of the landscape and 1 camera. So now what do we do? Oh yeah, we're just looking at the one view here, but if you go underneath, you can click this little button here and bring up 2 views. So there, now I have my landscape shot, and I have the camera here, and they're all these layers at the bottom are all sort of on the same plane. So they're all like almost like pieces of paper all on top of each other right there. So what we want to do is, I'm going to grab this guy here. Actually, let's grab this bottom one, and I'm going to grab it and pull it back. So that this bottom layer is farther back from the other ones. And this will make sense as we go through it. I'm going to take this layer and pull it back a bit. What I'm trying to do is give depth to this shot. I'm going to click this layer and bring it back a bit. And then the top layer, I'm just going to leave it. And I might rename these. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to hit Enter. Boom! And then you can rename your layer. So let's call this like front. We'll call... you can come up with any names you want. I'm going to call this sort of front. And I'm just going to hit Enter again. I'm going to say sort of back. As long as you know what you mean, that's fine. You can name it whatever you want. There's no rules here. And back. Okay, so I switched to a layer. I'm just going to go back up here to the top and click Composition. Okay, so there. So we have our sort of 3D type sort of view off to the left. It's the top view. And to the right we have the active camera, so what the camera sees. So at the beginning of the shot, let's go to the camera. Actually, forget that. Let's just set these layers up. So let's go to front. Now I want to look at my shot here. Let's make this a little bigger. Let's just grab that. What do I want in this front layer? I'm going to take my pen tool up here on the top, and let's say this stuff. Oh, let's see. There. I almost want to get rid of this view, this top view. I'm good for now. Let's go to one view and zoom in. Okay, so I'm looking at my photo, and what would be closest to the camera? I would think maybe this tree line here. So I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm just going to draw around this tree line. This is closest to the camera. Okay. Let's see, maybe it goes down here. And just shift it over a bit. We're going to go along here and draw around. And let's see, these trees sort of look close. Now this is going to be a pain, but I'll zoom in some more. And I'm going to just draw around these. Okay, like this. I don't think it has to be too accurate because it's such a quick shot. No, oh, that goes up, eh? Okay, so. Alright, so hopefully this works out. And we'll go along here, and then we'll go across the bottom. And then we'll go, oh, then we'll go across the bottom here. Oh, let's zoom back out and connect these. There. Now, what happened was you saw it shift. Because we moved those layers back, they're sort of farther back right now. So let's bring, what I want to do here is actually bring in one more layer as a guide layer, just because I got to match these all back up to the original photo. So let's bring this in one more and call this guide layer. I think there's a way to set that as a guide too, but I'll just call it guide. And then let's just make it sort of like transparent. So I'm going down here to the transform and making the opacity so I can try to match this stuff up. Okay, I might not use opacity. I might actually use this little eyeball off to the left of it. And so I have to scale this up. But what I want to do is I want to keep it where it is in the 3D layer. You guys remember that, right? Let's look at that again. Two views. Yeah, you want to leave those where they are. Let's go back to one view. And let's go to sort of front. Let's actually turn these off. And let's... Okay, so we're just dealing with this layer here. And I want to try to... I guess the easiest way to do it would be just to scale up this layer so it covers the black up here. So let's just try that. So this is what? This is the front layer that I... now quickly, you see how it's sort of like really cut out, almost like you chopped it out with scissors? I just want to feather that. I'm just going to do that quick before I forget. So let's just feather that so it like 16 for feather. And now let's go to sort of front. And I think the easiest way to do this is just to bring up the scale, so that would be in the transform right here, and scale it up. Okay, so we just want to scale it up. So that's at 109. Let's type in 110. There we go. Okay, so that's the way to do it. So let's turn off sort of front and turn on sort of back. And same thing, we just want to scale these up so it matches the original photo or matte painting. So let's just scale this up. Just as we get close, I'm going to type it in. I think 117 for scale could work. Let's do the same thing to turn that off and back. And let's get that back to close to how it originally looked. Okay, so we're around maybe 125 might do it for scaling. Nope, bigger. 126. Let's go 127. 127. Okay, that's close enough. Alright, so they're all looking like they did in the original matte painting. So we can turn them all back on. And our front layer, of course, we've already chopped out. So now let's look at the sort of front. What do we want in the sort of front? So I'm going to take my pen tool again. We're still highlighted. And let's say maybe this layer, this here is sort of front. So we're going to cut this out. So you're just looking at the photo and determining, what you think is sort of front. And let's say maybe halfway through the water. Hold on, maybe that might not work. Let's take the whole water. It could work, but I'm just a little scared of that. Okay, let's take this beach here. Some of this, yeah, we'll take the beach there, and then we will, there, that's our sort of front, so the water is included. There we go. And now let's just look at it alone. There, that's sort of front. Okay, so again, let's feather it. I think the last one for your mask was, I think I did 16, so let's try that again. 16, alright, so it's sort of feathered. Even more, let's go 25. There we go. Okay, now we have to do this for the other layer, so let's turn that off. Let's go to sort of back, and let's go in with a pen tool again, and now sort of back would be, I don't know, not these mountains, but right, oh, forget that, I made a shape layer, sort of back. I'm on the layer, I just clicked it, and let's go let's go up for some of these mountains here. Yeah, let's just take this, all this greenery here, and leave the mountains for back. Okay, so we're taking all of this here. Okay, and let's zoom back out, boom, and make the layer. Okay, so, and again we have to feather it so it looks sort of natural. We will now feather it. Let's see, 25, sure. Okay, and last but not least, we are in the back layer, which is basically just everything in the background. So we'll just leave that. I could do one more just for the moon layer. So let's do that. Let's go to back and say Control D and call this back one moon. So we can separate the mountain and the moon. Okay, so on back, we then want to cut out the back mountains here. Well, this actually could be, we'll just include all the mountains in one layer. Alright, so let's just chop out the mountains. Here we go. Mountains. Alright. Chop these guys out. You could do one more layer because these mountains aren't... do I want to? Do I want to? All of this is just for a tutorial. And I want to get the shot done quick. But you could separate the mountains up as well, just to get a little bit more... I almost want to. Okay, so let's Control Z. Let's separate the closer mountains and the farther away mountains. Alright, so let's go to, let's Control D one more time and call these front mountains. And let's call this one back mountains. Oh, I spelled it wrong, but who cares? Okay, it's about getting the shot done. Alright, front mountains. I think it's just cooler. It's cooler to separate these mountains. Because those ones that are sort of white look like they're in the distance. And it'll probably be a cooler shot. And I'm sure you guys want to make cool shots. Even this one, let's keep that one in the back layer. You can almost do 3 mountain layers. Okay, but we're good with just 2 for now. Unless I change my mind, like before. Okay, so now we just do the same. Scale out, boom, boom, boom. Alright, so let's turn that layer off. Oh, again, if you guys are following, I also want to feather the mask 25%. And now let's go to back mountains, and we want to grab these really distant mountains here. Now how am I going to do this? Yeah, I think I just want to include all this. I think. I want to include all the mountains this time. Because this will separate the sky from the mountains. Okay, and then we'll have a sky and the moon on the one layer. Okay, and we have that layer. And of course, we want to feather the mask. And we've got the moon layer at the back. Okay, so we have a whole pile of layers here. Now we can start to have some fun. The hard work's been sort of done here. Let's save it, of course. Always save. Your computer crashes after you've spent 2 hours doing masks. You will cry. So some people have to learn this a hard way. I did. So let's call this new improved landscape. And the episode of Spell Fury is Season 2, Ep 2. Ooh, Alright, so that's saved. And now let's have some fun. We almost want to take all of these layers and blow them up so that we can have, I guess, yeah, let's take them all and let's see. Scale is what? What's a hotkey? Is it S? Scale. Let's see how well this works. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so we scaled it up a little bit there. Okay, so we scaled them all just by selecting them all. I just clicked it and then I clicked Shift and hit Moon and it selected them all. Alright, let's save this as, because I'm just having fun here. It could work or couldn't. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. B. We'll call this one B. I always save them in increments so I can always go back and actually let's grab them all and bring it down so I can see the moon. So I'm just hitting the down arrow on my keyboard here. Okay. And let's okay. And now let's animate the camera over this move. So let's see. We are going to camera options, zoom. So zoom. Let's just turn the clock on all these. And transform, let's just go boom. Let's grab them all. I just held down the button and just, so we're making like we're recording right now. Let's go to the end. So there is a camera move here, and then it stops. Okay, but we are going to now zoom in. I'm going to grab the zoom down here. Zoom in. Now we're not really seeing anything 3D-ish. Actually, let's Control Z. Go back. I want to zoom in sort of this area here, like that's where the heroes are. So let's start. What are we going to do here? Position. Oh, that's sort of. You see now? You see that 3D effect? That's sort of what we're trying to do here. When I turn the camera, camera options. We want to do what? I want to grab all of these layers and shift to the right. I'm just hitting the right key there. Now how far can I go? Okay, right about there. Okay, so I'm just right across there. Okay, so I'm going to sort of, my thing is I want to sort of pan to where they are. So now let's try, let's go to the end, and right about where the camera move stops, let's go right to the very end. And let's move the position of the camera and zoom in. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to, let's see, depth of field is off, okay. And position, point of interest. Okay, position. Okay, well, let's see. We'll change the position a bit. X orientation. Now I'm going to go to the top here. Let's see. What do we got? Pan behind tool. What's that do for us? Ooh, we don't want that. I just shifted one of the layers. We got camera stuff. Orbit camera, unified camera, track camera. What's this do for us? Okay, that was sort of cool. Okay, so I use now, I don't use 3D a lot, so this for me is playing around, but also showing you guys what to do. That was track XYZ. So now let's check that move out. So we're going to play it. Whoa! We got some craziness going on. Okay, that did not work. Control Z. Okay, so let's Control Z again. I must have done something crazy. Now that's, we lucked out here. There's a bit of a, alright, but we want to go sort of side to side. Okay. Okay, so we want to go, let's see, let's go to the end here. And let's try something else. Track Z camera, orbit camera tool. What's orbit do? Oh, that's sort of neat. We're getting sort of a 3D-ish type effect. And let's move maybe the point of interest or orientation, position. Now what did that do for us? Let's just have a look. Alright, let's take it from full down to a third. Alright, let's have a look again. That's okay, but we're still not getting any type of 3D effect. We want to do like a bigger move so we're seeing the layers shift. Let's see. Let's go to the end. So I'm just gonna click this button here to go to the end, and let's orbit more. Okay, let's maybe do that and then zoom in. The zoom's right here. Now what's that do for us? Anything? Does it do something crazy? Alright. Let's have a look again. We'll go to the preview. Now we're getting some movement there. It's sort of shifting a bit. I almost want a bigger move. We're starting to see the layers a bit. I'm not too big on that. You can sort of see them popping out. So let's go to the last move here. And I think it was position that we moved. Yeah, by going that way it sort of ruins the illusion. It's not bad. Oh, there's a little weird keyframe back here at the end. Let's go in there. Oh, let's see. This is the layer here. Position. Let's just delete that. You just hit this button here. Okay. Yeah, I really want to shift to the left. So how am I going to do that? Okay, I'm going to go to the end here. And now maybe shift the layers all. Let's see. No, I don't want to do that. It has to be with the camera. Point of interest. Because that's what I wanted to do, is go in here. And then zoom. Now what does that do for us? Now are we getting any type of depth in here? Not really. Because it's supposed to start on the left. Okay, hold on. Let's move position perhaps. No, that changes left to right. Let's go back up to the camera. What does this do for us? I wanted to start here on this side, up high, and then by the end, oh yeah, there's a weird keyframe in there. Okay, let's delete that one. And at the end, I want to be over here where our heroes are, down low, and I want to zoom in because they're in there doing their thing. So now let's go back to the first. Oh, actually I changed the keyframe at the wrong point. By the end, I want to be over here with our heroes. Oh, we're getting some weird... There we go. Now how does that look? Alright. We're getting some subtle 3D things going on. Very subtle. That's not too bad. We're getting some shifting up in here. Very subtle 3D. It looks a little like it has more depth. You don't want to go too big with it. I wonder if we can push it a bit more. Let's see. We could try turning on our depth of field, but I'm not sure if the layers are far enough away. Okay, so we'll leave that off. Let's see. By the end, so we want to stay left. I wonder if we can go farther left by grabbing this tool here and start over here like that. And then as we go through, there's little shifts. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm picking up on something. Especially around here, I'm seeing there's 3D effect going on. Subtle, and yeah, I like it. So, okay, yeah, that looks good to me. I'm seeing a subtle 3D thing. Now you can hear my little girl Ella in the background. She just wants to tell us what she thinks about After Effects. She's not that good in it yet, but she thinks she's better than she is. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing some 3D effects here. I like this shot. I'm happy with it. Now for color correction, the live action stuff that I shot, I'm going to put an adjustment layer up here. It was just new adjustment layer. You guys can see that. Down here I'm going to name it. Name everything, guys. Trust me. If you want to be good in After Effects, you must name your layers. You must. Just trust me. Sometimes you have 100 layers, and by the time you hit 100, you're done, unless you have named your layers. So color. Let's go to Effect. What I noticed in the footage, the real life footage, is it was almost fall, so there was more Let's go to hue and saturation. There was orange in the leaves, and this is really green. Let's see if we can get away with clicking colorize right here. Whoa, no, that will not do. This is not going to work out at all. Colorize, forget it. Let's go to, let me try this. Let's go to effect, color correction, and let's play with curves. I don't use curves that much. I'm a big levels guy. But you can, let's see, take the green, which here, and then pull down the green. Now we're getting into like purpley. That's not good. That's, if you go up, you got green. Okay. So let's Control Z and try red and just see if we can bump the red a bit. That gets us a little more. I don't hate that. I'm just Control Zing back to where it was. There's a lot of blue in this shot. It's night, so okay. What did the red do for us? Did it shift the colors a bit? It doesn't look as green. I'm okay with that. What does let's see, blue do for us? Obviously there's a lot of blue. This would take blue out. Oh, it makes it even more green. We don't want that. So this would give us more blue here. A little brighter. I'm not too big with that. Like I said, so this is, you hit this little thing here, we can see with or without. That's green. That pulled the green out a bit more, made it a little brighter. I don't know. Let's leave that on. Let's go to effects, color correction, levels, and let's see if you, that brings all the whites up, obviously. But you can also do the same as curves and RGB, red, green, blue. You can do the same sort of thing. You can play around with the colors here individually. So that gives us a little bit more, not as green. Take some of the green out. These are just subtle things. Oh, is there a weird move at the very first? That's okay. That's all right. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm happy with it. You can always put a solid on top, like layer, new, solid. Like if you want to try to introduce red and bring it down to, like, you know, opacity, you know, maybe 10%, and that gives you some more red. And then you could, you know, maybe if I just want to put it on the trees, not in the background, like on the mountains, just throw it over there, you know, and you can play with how it is on top of it. Like you can play around with the mode, an overlay, or that might give me a little more red. Maybe boost up the way too red. Add a little bit more fall in there, maybe just a titch, and then maybe throw. Now you can play with all the settings. There's tons of settings in there, but I'm just screwing around. So we want to feather that. That's a little more closer to what we shot real on the day. There's a weird little funky move at the first, but I'll probably not use that first little move. Okay, so that's not too bad. Now, on top of that, I want this to say Twistwood Forest. I want to name this forest. It does have a name. And I think the audience likes, so you can go layer, new, title. Title? Well, text, not title. And we want to type, oh, there it is up there. Okay, so that's way too small. So you want to go to your character over here and boost up your, how big the font is. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, but let's just type in Twistwood. Twistwood Forest. Obviously too small. Now, okay, it had to be highlighted. And we will put that, I guess, right here. And I think the last time I did some text over a landscape shot, I think it was in yellow. So let's grab the text and just highlight this. And click this little white thing over here in character and go to yellow. Yellow. There we go. And, ooh, what happened? Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. What the? There. I don't know what happened there. Alright, let's go to yellow. Boom. Back to yellow. Let's go up to full resolution. Full. And now, let us find a cool text. I have some on here, I think called Booter or something. Yeah, these are the Twistwood. That's sort of cool text. Booter 5. That seems okay. Let's go back to where we were. What do we have there? Twistwood. That's too italic-y. Okay, let's shift maybe still too italic-y. How about that? 5-1-1-5. That's not bad. It's not slanted as much as the other ones. Okay, I'm not truly digging the wording. Does it have to be bigger, maybe? Maybe there. How about no, here? Okay, so what it needs is a shadow. So let's go to Effect, Stylize. Nope, where are you? Perspective, Drop Shadow. And let's see, add some opacity to it. So the shadow here is getting darker, and the distance from the lettering, let's go about there so it's easier to read. It's a little easier to read. It almost could be brighter, and you can soften the shadows as well. You will soften it just a titch. There we go. I'm still not digging it. It's not bad. I think maybe more yellow or something. Let's go to yellow and let's make it more like lighter yellow, perhaps. See, it's changing as I do this. Okay. Twistwood, no, more yellow. Okay, how about that? Alright, now let's have a little look here. It's okay. I'm in a hurry because this episode needs to come out. So I guess what I could do is, let me move it over here a bit because I want the audience to look here. Shift off to the right, and I could put a, let's see, a solid black layer behind it, just so it's even easier to read. And just let's turn that off, and just maybe put like a more darkness behind the, oh, that was bad, behind the lettering, so it's easier to read. Let's turn that back on. Hey, oh, I didn't connect the mask here. There we go, and there should be black behind it. I have to shift that underneath the text layer, lower the opacity. Let's see, and of course the mask needs feathering. Feather, feather, feather. Okay, let's add some crazy feathering to it. Now, does that stand out a little bit more? Maybe pop up the opacity of the black layer. Some more. Okay, even darker. There we go. Now it's starting to pop for me. It's because it's dark behind it. I'm still not 100% on the lettering, but again, I'm in a hurry. The trick is just to get this stuff out. Okay, how's that work? Alright, I almost need like a cloud layer, although there's lots of clouds. Alright, I just gotta stick with this. Let us now file, save it, and composition, add to render queue. How many frames per second is this? Alright, so it's just an AVI file coming out, that's fine. 29, my composition, or my video, or my Premiere file is 23.976. And then let's throw it in effects here. We'll say landscape, new, season 2 of Spell Fury, episode 2. Now, if you guys are digging these tutorials, I'd really like it, to pay me back, is to maybe watch Spell Fury. Comment on some videos, tell your friends to subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll keep making these for you guys. So let's see. Let's just render this guy out, and it will take some time, and it's going to chug here. And yeah, basically you guys have already seen this thing working. You've already sort of seen what the effect's going to be, and you guys will see this shot in the next episode of Spell Fury. So thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. So like this on YouTube and subscribe, please. Tell your friends, and I will come and give you guys some more cool After Effects tips. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.